Yes. Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we here. Oh, baby, we here. That's right. I'm sorry. I had to shove some food in my face so I could consume the food and then I could consume the beer. So I literally was just like shoveling, just like a snowplow of food into my face hole. But it don't matter, cause now that's it, Dean. Grossi standard time. It's all right. It's not like I'm not gonna make it up to you. Listen, folks. Listen. Last week was a 3-hour Q&A. I think I put in my dues. Let's put it that way. I think we put it in, but it don't matter. After an insane week, one of the most insane weeks of my literal life, we here. Oh, baby. We are here. The hair is done. The hair's done. It's rocking. It's rolling. We here. It's Friday freaking fracking night. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I will say, the yeast has been roused already. It's been roused already. And we're going to have ourselves a good time. I missed you. It's been too long. Only streamed 2 times this week. What the hell's going on with that? Freaking slacking out here. We got lots to talk about. I was in Green Bay for a bunch of days last week. Missed some flights. Had to drive 3 hours to Chicago. We'll talk about it all. Rachel Hunter, the Commonwealth has returned. Welcome back. That's it. The Commonwealth, where you can never truly leave. Does that sound more culty? Yes. Yes, it does. But it doesn't matter. We here. We gotta do an intro. It's Friday night. And it's time for some freaking fracking Q&A. And so, for the first time this week, time for an intro, baby. Grossi Bossy Packers! Nation, welcome to an episode of Podcast, a podcast where you don't get to Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. It's Friday Night Q&A, Grossi. Woo! Let's get it. Let's get it. Jonathan Tour was the best, worst match for Mania. The worst one? Probably the main event on Sunday. That thing sucked. The almost Lashley match was stupid too. Best one? I mean, triple threat tag was real good. But I'd probably say Bianca and Becky. Probably put on the best one. Goku to fire back from Mania. Great time, but it's Friday. You know what that means. Goku, you saw a good one. You saw a good one. I'd say overall it was a good 2 days of show. JJ checking in from work. Love watching the content from Green Bay. Trip jealous. Go Pack Go. If you had to choose one, movies or TV shows. Movies, but that's difficult. But that is difficult. Joe with a 408. Tom, you considered submitting your wide receiver tryout tape to the USFL? Before you say no, just think about it for a minute. If you sign with the Philadelphia Stars, you'd be catching passes from Case Cookus. Now, that is very tempting. But I only wear the green and gold for the Green Bay Packers. Benny Tech! Oh, sure, now you had a counter for how many days someone's been the top dog. That's been there! It's been there for a while now. It's been there for a good amount of time. Like a good amount of time. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Benny Tech. Ray Whittam! Benny! Boop! For the kitty! Did someone say shot? Oh, God. Oh, God. We're not a cult, just like-minded people that want to build a community together, love one another, and worship Tom. Wait, where was I going with this? All right, we're not a cult. No. For the IRS. It's for the IRS purposes. We are not. Nope, not a cult. Absolutely. That means we have to do a shot, doesn't it? Okay, yep. I'm already a couple Duvals deep. I was like, you know what? I feel like rousing the yeast a little bit early, but all right. Time to get the shot glass. Hermit, Harold, take food that I just ate was really spicy. So, oh yeah, that cleared the sinuses out. That cleared it out. Hashtag not a cult. Hashtag not a cult. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And a little bit of this. I'm almost out of peanut butter whiskey here. I got enough for like one more shot, and that's it. That's it. Larold's doing well. Jim B, he's hanging out with Scaldemort and Barreled. They're hanging out. Hanging out. Folks, cheers. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How we doing out there? How we doing? We gotta shout out our beer masters and our liquor master. First, of course, we have our liquor master, Ray. I said I would do it this week, but I didn't think I was going to Green Bay this week. So next week, it'll be filled up. It'll be filled up. 100%. It will. Luke, with your live New York Times crossword stream. Now that's the content that people are asking for. So we got the Royal Brett Goody. We got that one, Gamer141, Kip Gaming Campaign 2002, Golden Tate, Joel Deal, Ratatat, Matt, Boto Winter, Sandro B, Dr. Link, Max Center, Super Endo, Wow. A big shout out and thank you to you all. Let's get it. Flambeau with fire in for Thomas, cited by Schefter for Murphy's Rogers comment about his retirement situation being a year-to-year thing. Listen, I got some good stuff out of that Murphy interview. Full thing looking to be released tomorrow. We talked about Devontae Adams. We talked about if Lambeau's a competitive advantage anymore. We talked about some stuff and some things. Oh yeah. Jonathan Fire moving to St. Louis. So happy. Goodbye, awful Texas. It's been my dream to be a social worker in St. Louis. Well, Jonathan, congratulations for chasing that dream. You chase it. You chase it, you chase it, and you freaking fracking chase it. I didn't see FTR versus the Briscoes, but I heard it was one of the best matches, like, ever. So, how long's the full thing? I think it's about 45 minutes long. It was a long interview. So, I got into it with him. So, it was a lot of fun. I honestly think it was probably the best interview that I've done. My only regret, so I can kind of explain the day of what happened here. So Sunday, I did the stuff with Kurt Benkert, which was, and there's more videos to come out of that. Monday, I'm supposed to get there at 10:30 to set up early. Interviews at 11. I get there at 10:25. I don't get up there till about 10:50. So I'm scrambling. I'm rushing, trying to plug things in. People come down. All right, we're going to bring Mark down. I'm like, I should be done in 5 minutes. I'm not done in 5 minutes. I'm hurrying. I'm rushing. I'm trying to get everything done. And I didn't. I thought it was in one bag, but it was in a different bag. I basically have 3 audio backups. I have the camera audio, which is not ideal. I have the soundboard itself because it has a little mini SD card that records it. And then I have the cable that runs from the soundboard to the computer. I didn't have the cable that would allow it to go from soundboard to the computer. So if the sound sounds off, I apologize. Trust me, I'm not happy about it. I was very upset about it. But I was left with just the soundboard and the camera. So it usually doesn't happen that way, but unfortunately, that's just the way things go. I wanted to make sure I got the full time. You know, I didn't want to get cut short because I did have a lot to talk about. So it is what it is. Flambeau and Fire, think comment was a slip up. Also, I think schools should teach both sides of controversial issues in good faith. I think it depends on the controversial issue. I think that they should get a broad context of what's going on in the time period. The comment? No, I don't think that's a slip up at all. No, I definitely don't. Like, it's still usable. You know, the audio's still okay. Like, you still hear people, but especially with Mark, it's off. And I wasn't very happy about it, but again, you gotta do what you gotta do. So it is what it is. We tried. Sky said, George, I make the team, Tom. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for that phone call. I do want to, if that video takes off, I do want to, the next video that I have planned, and I've already talked to Benkert about this, who, by the way, is the nicest individual ever. I want to have him back, and I want to try to catch a touchdown pass against a starting corner. I want to try it. I want to try to run some routes, and I want to try to catch a TD. I do. I do. I definitely do. So, how hard is it to go from informing and giving your opinion mode, like you're doing on the videos, to questioning and drawing information out of someone mode while you're interviewing? Well, I mean, I've been doing interviews ever since this started, so that's since 2015. And on top of that, I was a teacher. So I think that it's not difficult at all. I think you just need to come like a little bit prepared, be willing to adapt to whatever the speaker slash guest is giving you. I mean, I've done interviews where the person has given me very little, and so I had to improvise a little bit more and make sure to fill that space. But at the same time, there's sometimes that they're very flowing. Like this interview with Mark, I think it went very well. It flowed very well. We were laughing. We were having a good time. So we were rocking. Deanna Tour gets a call from Jaguars instead. Damn it. Mossing Rasul Douglas. No, I don't care with CB. I don't care. 1v1 with Kevin King. Now that's what I want. Jonathan, if I have a quick question, you think AEW is the biggest competitor to WWE since WCW? I mean, yeah, there was TNA for a bit where you had like Hulk Hogan there, but that fizzled out real quick. So yeah, because like you have the Ring of Honors and New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I think that AEW is probably the biggest competitor. But I think it's more of like an alternative, honestly. Sean, what if I? What do you think, Mr. Grossi? Olave from Ohio State. N'Kobe Dean from Georgia to Phil Adams and Darius, respectfully. And let's have fun. It's a great question. I wouldn't mind doing having a pass rusher and or like an outside linebacker with a wide receiver. I think Chris is going to be gone, unfortunately, before he picks. So unless we trade up into the top, which, by the way, I did talk to Mark Murphy about. So I did. Robbie, it's all right, Tom. Costco Pizza or Papa John's? I can thankfully say that I've had neither. Papa John's, all I remember is the founder is very sweaty and was weird. So I never ate that. So yeah, I don't even have a Costco. We get to see the broken hand catch. Yes, you do. And it's going to be titled like, so the way that was set up, it literally was Kurt wanted to record some stuff for his TikTok in which he wanted to show like, it slinging out of his hand, and the whipping motion that was occurring. And he goes, all right, Tom, I'm going to throw it as hard as I possibly can. And I looked at him and I was like, wait, so you weren't throwing it as hard as you could? He goes, no. And I go, well, now I want to catch it. And again, I think I said this on Clickbait. I heard the ball. And by the way, those balls are hard. I heard it go, and it just gets louder and louder as it comes near you. It was terrifying. I wound up catching two. The first one that I caught, he said I could throw harder than that. And then he threw it as hard as he could. And I caught it. I caught it. But that son of a gun hurt. I literally dropped to my knees and I could not bend my thumb to my pinky. But I caught it. Janine, he's a dentist. Had a long week. Spend the last quarter. Going to 250th anniversary celebration of the Pine Tree Riot. Ooh, in Ware, New Hampshire tomorrow. Oh, okay. Nice. Dressed out of fire saying Knoxville is more fun than it should have been. Oh, yeah. More than it had any right to be. Oh, yeah. We're still doing phrasing. All the phrasing. The balls were hard. They were coming in quick. The balls were just... Well, that's the thing. How I was catching was I would move my body out of the way and just try to grab it with my hands. Because quite honestly, if that hit me in the chest, we probably would have had some problems. So I just kept like stepping to the side and like trying to grab it. There was one take that almost hit the cameraman. That would have been bad. But I wound up catching it. I did. So that's all that counts. That's all that matters. And I did it. And I'm a happy person because of that. So. And again, Ben Kerr was telling me like he was throwing like 59-60 at the combine. That ball's coming in quick. It's coming in quick. So. Moon Knight episode 2, solid. I do like the series so far. I definitely do like the series so far. Tom versus Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey doesn't want this smoke. I'll burn him just like Devontae Adams did. Just saying. Is Sonic 2 any good? Might be. I know a bunch of spoilers, so that's cool. Is there a crazy plan? I think so. I talked to Murphy about this current draft, and it seems that based off our conversation, and you'll hear it tomorrow, that they're just willing to like open up the playbook and be like, hey, like we could trade up, we could trade back, we could let the draft fall to us. I talked pretty extensively about it. So yeah, it just seems that they're very open. They have not finalized their draft board yet. That was said on screen. So yeah, I mean, I talk about a lot. I talk about Devontae Adams and got some admission from him that they were so focused on Aaron Rodgers, they probably should have gotten to Devontae first. Headline. There you go. That'll be a clip tomorrow. So yeah, There's a lot. Sean Winter, Billy's still running from the Jags offer, $350 million. Oh yeah, he's running. Billy's running. We trade up. Who do you want to trade for? If Chris is there, I want him. I'm gonna probably put out a video on Sunday because it's gonna be the interview tomorrow. I'm gonna probably do like 5 wide receivers we could draft on in the first round. So ask me after Sunday. I saw that. I will say, and I think I mentioned this again on Clickbait, Sunday was such a surreal moment for me because you imagine as a kid, you know, catching passes from an NFL QB, right, and scoring like the winning touchdown and stuff. And Kurt came in again. Kurt actually picked me up, and because I was like, oh, I'm going to Uber over to the field, and he's like, no, I'll pick you up. Picked me up. We talked, immediately clicked. Such a great guy. We get to the field and like we're setting up, and he just throws like a couple passes just to like warm up, and I'm catching him, and he's like, oh, he's got hands, and it was this weird, surreal, like very wholesome feeling of wow, like that produced a lot of like nostalgia, childhood memories, and I literally was catching passes from an NFL QB, and that was very, 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 very cool. So yeah, I loved every second of that shoot. Because it's only me, because I'm translucent, I managed to get sunburned in April in Wisconsin. So I did that. That was fun. Preston, if I have a Patrick Mahomes contract, we try to tackle Derrick Henry in Oklahoma drill. Absolutely. I can fail, but I'll still get the contract. I've done Oklahoma drills with people bigger than me. Jack went at 20. Hey, Tom, sorry I missed the roast of Dallas. What's the difference between Detroit and Dallas? 4 years. Last time Dallas made it to the conference finals was 95. Last time Detroit made it, 91 versus the Commanders. Yes. 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 Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Love that. I love that. I love that so much. I love it. Oh, the Cowboys. The freaking fracking Cowboys. Yeah, no, I got sunburned though. I mean, we were also on a soccer field. Shout out to UWGB for providing that. I have to say, like, this video was the most expensive, probably the most stressed I've ever been for a video, just because I wanted to get it right. And it is a bit short, you know, but I didn't want to cram a bunch of stuff into it, you know, to make it like, oh, let's hopefully, you know, this works. And because I wanted to make several pieces of content out of it. You know, and I'm definitely not going to make my money back on the video, but it's fine. It was worth it. Rachel and Tara, unfortunately, the kiln in my pottery studio that I need to fire myself broke. So I joined a better pottery studio and rented my own kiln. There you go. Trying to start a business, so wish me luck. Hell yeah, Rachel. Start an S Corp, not an LLC. S Corp for the win. S Corp for the win. Colony Tour got sunburned in Buffalo in December, so. All right, that's true. Worst injury I suffered doing something athletic. I sprained my knee in soccer. That sucked. I sprained my ankle skateboarding. I sprained my arm in dodgeball in gym. I've never broken anything, but I sprained stuff. So, also, I thought I broke my toe in jiu-jitsu because I think I've told this story, and it was literally purple. I was pushing up on somebody, and I went to go plant my foot, and my big toe literally drove straight into the ground, and I heard a crack, and it turned purple immediately. And I was like, oh, this thing is broken. Like, it hurt. I finished the roll, but I went to urgent care the next day, and they're like, I don't know how this is broken, but no, you just sprained it real bad. Real bad. Talent if I Cowboys joke. Why don't the Cowboys have elevators in the stadium? Because they can't take their team to the next level. Yes. 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 And yes. To be fair. The skateboard one, well, actually, all right, the only one that was really my fault was the dodgeball one. The problem was the soccer one, somebody slide tackled me while I was running, so that's why I sprained my knee. And then the second one was skateboarding. I was at somebody's birthday party. It was like my dad's friend's daughter's birthday party, and she turned like 5. And I had a skateboard, and I was riding down their hill of a driveway, and the birthday girl who was like 5 ran out in front of me, And I was like, well, either I'm going to deck this kid and ruin her birthday, or I'm going to try to get out of the way. So I threw my body that way, and my ankle twisted, and I pulled up their grass because I was in a lot of pain. So I'm just saying. I saved a child that day. I don't want to throw around the word hero, but hero. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. Luka 979. Detroit scored 8 in quarter 1 versus the Bucks. Only 8. Nice. Imagine what life would have been if Grossi took that girl on her birthday. I probably would have gotten in trouble. Yeah, I probably would have gotten in trouble, but we didn't. So that worked, right? Positives. We're looking at the positives here. I'm trying. I'm trying. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that's how we did. Oh, and then so I had Wednesday was when I was supposed to leave. I didn't get home till 2:00 in the morning. I get back to the hotel at 2:00 in the morning, and I set my alarm for 4 a.m. Because my flight left at 6:05. So I scheduled my Uber for 4:30. So like it would arrive. I had 30 minutes. I was all packed up. I was all ready to go. You know, I literally just had to hop into my jeans, and I was ready. So I set my alarm was set. I go to sleep, and I wake up at 6:30. I have never in my 31 years ever missed a flight. My Uber didn't show up. The alarm never went off. Or I guess I might have woken up on my slumber and turned it off. I don't know. Get to the airport. They go, the next flight out of here to Chicago O'Hare is at 3 p.m. You won't get in to your destination until about 10 p.m. And I said, well, here's the problem with that. I said, I got some content that I need to put out. And they're like, well, there is a flight going out of O'Hare in Chicago at 12:52. And at that point, it was about 9 o'clock. 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I said, you know what? Screw it. Walked over. No, it had to be like 8 because they weren't supposed to open until 9. Walk over to the rental cars. There's one guy, Adam. Shout out to Adam. I walk over to him and I say, it's from Hertz. And I go, hey, you got any rental cars and how much are they? He goes, what's your name? I go, Tom. He goes, I thought so. I'm a big fan. I watch your videos all the time. And I was like, thank you. Get a car. I drive. I'm like, at this point, I'm exhausted. I've gotten like 2 hours of sleep. My head is throbbing. Drive 3 hours to O'Hare. I make it with like 40 minutes to spare. Get on the plane and get home just so I can upload the wide receiver video. And honestly, worth it. Janine, if I had so much fun watching you guys roast Scooter. Always love people watching jump on the Cowboys. Oh, yeah. Dallas Fire. Did Mark Murray see your reaction to Jordan Love pick mentioned during the interview? No, he didn't. I mean, this is the 4th time I've interviewed him, so yeah, no, he don't know. Joe to Fire. Where do you see Julio and OBJ going? I think OBJ might go to Pats. Julio the Colts for Matt Ryan. And do you see AJ Brown and DK Metcalf will go? I don't think AJ Brown and DK Metcalf are going anywhere. I have some sources on this. I don't think Julio Jones is going to go to the Colts. I would highly doubt that. I think there's a decent chance that Julio Jones gets signed by the Packers, to be completely honest. OBJ, I think, is a complete and total toss-up, but I don't think Julio is going to go to the Colts. I don't. Stay with it to her. AJ Hawk, no message, just love the guy. I have a signed card of his, yeah. So, yeah. No, the rental car I rented from Green Bay and drove 3 hours to O'Hare. That's what I did. Had to get home. Had no food. I was exhausted. head throbbing, because the night before was a crazy time. It was a crazy, crazy time. Also, I got to talk for an extended amount of time with AJ Dillon. That was a real good time. I met his wife. Yeah, that was a time. It was definitely it was definitely an evening. Definitely an evening. So, yeah. Did I get booed at anyone about hair? No. Funny fact, because I went to the Packers Pro Shop and I got a replica Packers helmet, and myself and Kurt Benkert signed it, and we are going to raffle it off for a fundraiser this month. You know, that will end at the draft again. So the reason I mentioned that is because when I got to O'Hare, the people behind the desk loved the helmet so much they wanted to take a picture of it. So they loved it. So I was like, sure. And I let the guy hold it, and like there was a crowd that gathered. Yeah. I was like, aren't you guys Bears fans? I was like, can I just bring this on the plane and not check it? They're like, that's fine. I was like, okay. Okay. All right. That's fine. Luke, I'm still figuring out the charity. I would expect the announcement probably next week, though. I'm still trying to catch up. I barely slept in that trip, so I'm still trying to catch up on sleep. Yeah. So I'm still trying. But should have worn the helmet on the plane. Someone said that too. They were just like, because I could not fit it in the overhead bin. So thankfully it was a really small flight, so there weren't a lot of people on it. So I was able to shove it under a chair or the seat in front of me. So it's true, Zach. It's true. I think the guy might have thought I was a player. And I've been like, I should have seen my wide receiver video. So. Ray Witters, Julio calls gamers doing a Q&A raid. We did one for him last week. Maybe as the night progresses, we'll stop. We'll stop and say hello. How we doing? Yeah, just saying. Maybe we take a stop. But yeah, it was a great trip. Honestly, it was so much fun. I had a great time. It was good. AJ and Hype Train. Yeah, nice guy too. Nice guy. I was having a lot of fun. Dembski with a tenor. What do you think about Peter Bukowski proposed with us getting Keenan Allen? Also, do you listen to the Locked In Packers podcast at all? I mean, it was mentioned by, was it Schefter? No, maybe it was Rappaport on no, it wasn't Rappaport. Who the hell was it? I don't even remember what analyst it was. On the Pat McAfee show a while ago, saying the Packers are probably going to call about Keenan Allen. I don't listen to the Locked In Packers podcast. I don't listen to a lot of other content just because I don't want it to really inform my opinion. If there's like factual stuff, like I'll go and take a look at that. But no, I have not listened to that stuff. But Keenan Allen would be great. It's just he's just gonna be expensive. Josh Shafaro, no wonder Chicagoans wanted to see the helmet. They wanted to see a piece of one of their shareholders. Yes. 100%. I love that. Did I see Corey Banky in Green Bay? Yes, I did. Multiple days. I saw Corey Banky on Saturday when I got in. I saw him on Sunday, and I saw him on Tuesday. Yes. I saw, and I had a great lunch with Wes Hodkiewicz on Tuesday. It was a grand old time. It was a grand old time. I enjoyed it. Alexander, do you ever listen to Teenage Dirtbag? Yes. Yes, I have. There you go, Bart. There you go. I did not see Matt Lafleur. I tried. I really did try, though. I did. ZJ, I talked all about this on GPS today. I think that's fantastic. Take care, Jim B. Alex Fire, what's smallest class size you had to teach for a year? My sophomore, my normal English class was 5 kids, including me. I think 17 or 19 was my smallest class that I ever did. Otherwise, they were in the 20s, and then some of them were in the 30s. Alexander, to your favorite non-Packers game? Again, the Super Bowl that I always go to is Titans and Rams. I did love that game as a kid. It was a fun game. Great show on turf. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Come down to the 1 yard line. Ready to fire? Merch, say anything about you getting your own office after you move to Wisconsin? Let's just say that there were conversations that were had about potentially doing things with the organization in the future. Whether that comes to fruition or not, only time will tell. Nobody win a Betty! Boop! For the kitty! Saying, hey, Tom, loved video of the catches from the Packers QB and was so happy to see you so happy. Tom, I appreciate that. Honestly, that's something that I'm never gonna ever forget. Ever. You know what? I'll show you. Because the best part about it is I got to keep the freaking fracking gloves. Because I had my own gloves, obviously. But I got to keep them. Ben Kurtz signed them. So I'm definitely going to frame this probably with a picture of the both of us. So that's freaking fracking awesome. But here's the helmet that I purchased. And I will be raffling off for the charity. Oh yeah, look at this beaut. Look at this beaut. You got a little Tom Grossi and Kurt Benkert right there. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Nice little replica helmet. Cost a pretty penny, but I was like, listen, it's for the charity. We got Curdy B to sign it. There we go. Chris, Fire Tom, thank you for all your live videos, for streaming the games. I have a bad day at work. Come home and laugh at your vids. Go Pack, go. Chris, listen, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. I'm glad you like them. So yeah, I'll be raffling that off. We'll be raising some money for a charity. We'll have it end at the draft like last year. We'll be rocking and rolling. Oh yeah. We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. We'll raise some money. We'll raise some money. So I'm debating between a couple of different charities because I've done a lot of I've done a wide variety of charities. So I want to do something I haven't done before. You know, some a little bit a little different. No, I did not watch it. No, I did not. So I know I think the big stream that we're gonna do, like, you know, around December, that's gonna be that should probably be for an animal, the charity. It probably is going to be. But this one, I don't know yet. I'm debating. Calculator, reasons to hate Tom Grossi. Ooh, Packers fan. 1. Thinks chocolate and mint don't make a good combo. 2. Yes, I will die on that hill. Well, besides that, thank you for all you do and not hating on the Lions too much. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Gay with a tenor. Clickbait sports punishment ideas. 5 has to recreate the miracle in Meadowlands. Oh, I like that. 1, 2, Tree has to do a dance on the Steelers logo like Juju. Scooter has to wear an Eagles gear for the entire stream. I like that. ZJ, yeah, Clickbait was supposed to do a stream for Ukraine. And I was like, hey guys, we need to decide what we're going to do. And then we never did. So, yeah, it's on there. Colbert, great sir. Melvin Gordon is talking with the Ravens. I did see that. Be a good pickup for them. Local Dodgers, you gave me hope about Cricket Vid from 5. I tried. I offered it. They said no. They said nay. They said nay. And I was like, moo. And they said nay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to rouse. It's time to rouse. It's rousing the yeast. It's time. It is time. It's time to rouse the yeast. Also, I have not watched it yet, but I wanted to. Maybe I'll watch the first episode tonight. They're about an hour long. I heard Severance on Apple is really good. Is really, really good. If anyone in the chat, I think the finale just happened. If anyone in the chat can attest to that, you let me know. You let me know. Oh, we're rousing. Rousing time. Rouse all your yeast now. Ready to final add to the punishment. Tom has to get a Reggie White jersey and I'm throw a Pats fan. Yes. I actually do have a Reggie White jersey. I have a signed Reggie White jersey. I do have a signed Reggie White jersey. Have I seen The Boys? Yes. I thoroughly enjoy that TV show. See how I said that? That was smart. Is this whole thing gonna fit in here? Is that what she said? Uh-oh. Oh, it's getting dangerous. It's getting dangerous. Hold on. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. Oh my God, what a legend. He still got it. He still got it. Look at the pour. Look, there's nothing left in there. Look at the pour. Look at the pour. Oh, the yeast was roused with us this evening. It was roused. Whew. Best thing I've done this week. Mitchell with a hundo! Boop, boop. Saying, your Elmo voice sounds like the Jester's puppet and Hunchback of Notre Dame. Also, cheers. Wow. Mitchell, that's a throwback. Now that's a throwback. And I know it's been a while. Elmer Lasser. Done. Nailed it. Wow. Chester from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one. Thank you, Mitchell. Cheers, my friend. Cheers, cheers. Nick with 20. Free baller that, if you Google Jordan Love right now, you find articles quoting your interview. Really? Is that so? Mark Murphy's eye-opening take on Jordan Love. What? Now, oh, I did not know this. Now, the question is Tom Grossi actually, am I actually cited in these? That is actually pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Tom Grossi, journalist. Oh, I'm in my basement. Ah, I love it. I love it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Per sources. Who's the source? Tom Mother-loving Grossi. Nobody! Also, where do you think Honey Badger will go? The Saints fan, love him come home. I would like him to go to the Saints too, just for the story, but if not, please stay out of the NFC. So I think it's whoever's going to give him the most money. Alex, who was the rudest student you ever had? Rudest? There's two that come to mind. One I literally thought was going to be a high school shooter. Like that's the only time in my career I actually thought like, oh, this kid could do something. And I've had some students who have had very troubled pasts who have brought knives to school, and I was never worried about them. Have gotten into fights, was never worried about them. There's one that I was very worried about. But rudest, there was a student that I had, and she, oh my God, like legitimately struck me as a sociopath. And I don't say that lightly. Like, this is coming from like a professional. Like, I was like, wow, like no remorse, no, like would lie blatantly, would be incredibly cruel to her peers. Like, yeah, that was scary. Rachel, if I had time to taught me anything, it's how to pour a beer properly. And honestly, if that's all I taught you, it's the greatest thing I could have ever done. What's going on, Nishi? How you doing? Yeah. There's two that stick out to me. I'm like, oh, okay. Like the first one, the one I just talked about, I was like, you know, we're never do anything. Like that's the person who would just like go on to be a manipulative, terrible person. The other one I was talking about, like there was a legitimate. It was funny. I always thought this person, I was like, wow, because they said some really bad, like the administration knew, what have you. This was during my leave replacement. And it's funny because the teacher, when she came back, she gave me a call. And she's like, honestly, like if there was any kid that I think would do something, it'd be that kid. So like, I got along well enough with that kid that I was never worried for my safety, but it was a matter of, oh, this kid could cause a problem real quick. So, Ray, Vince Lombardi is currently sitting front and center. It's literally like one of the first things you see when you walk into the studio. So, cheers, cheers. You know? Murphy needs to fix his mic. No, that's my fault. Again, I usually have 3 audio backups. I only got 2, and that was my fault. It didn't come out the way I wanted it to. Completely and totally my fault. And it sucked because I really was proud of this interview, and like I know the audio kind of takes away from it, but yeah. It is not opened yet, right? No, I don't think I will open it. I don't think I will. So, will the Commanders do it 11? Cry. Draft a new owner. Probably. So, that's all. There you go, Micah. Those are the lessons. Eric Witt. My football player now. I mean, I don't want to brag, but caught him. I caught him. I'm doing what I can. No, but honestly, Sunday was just such an awesome day. The interview was great on Monday, don't get me wrong, but Sunday was such an awesome day. That was just so cool. It was just so freaking fracking cool. So, wow, Zach, that's wild. A jail book? Yeah, I feel like that person would be fired today. Like, you're going to jail, even if they're right. So, yeah, I mean, this is the 4th time I've interviewed Murphy. I worked my ass off to maintain that relationship, and it's worked. So, yeah, I hope I get to speak to him again, because I think I think I'm able to ask questions that like legitimately fans have. So, ready to fire. I will voice the Commanders announcing a new trade 11 for a new owner. All right, hold on. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna lie. Okay. And Ruth. Nope. Hold on, I'm trying. I'm gonna lie. That's like my foundational line. And with the 11th pick. It's not good, but the Commanders choose anybody else. Rocco. And Rocco's not alive. But Rocco's better than Dan Snyder. It was all right. It was okay. It was solid. It was okay. It was all right. So, Zane went fire. A possibility, a series covering the dark ages for Favre and the rise. Cheers, I'll drink to that. Ooh, that'd be fun during the offseason. Probably not this offseason, but that would be a lot of fun. I would totally do that. Totally. Okay, we're at 20. Clickbait Sports Punishment Ideas Part 2. Scoot has to do his presentation on every single Cowboys playoff failure since 1995. Love that. Perna has to recreate the start of the Super Bowl 48. Love that. Tom has to recreate the Bostic onside kick. Don't like that. Don't. I like all the other things. Not that. Do I watch MLB at all? No, but baseball's back. Bat, ball, bam, home run. Yay. It's not my thing, but not gonna crap on you if you like it. Like, that's cool. That's fine. It's fine. Timbo, Terrell, pack trade or keep picks and draft players. I mean, I think that they might trade up. I don't think they're gonna trade for players. I don't. My opinion. They could, but I think that they could trade up. Joshua Tanner, random question. What's your favorite era of history to teach? And do you think students do better at physical learning, like artifacts or museum trips and the like when it comes to history? I think to answer the second question first, that's the first. The first one is easy. It's post World War One. I love World War One, and I love post World War One culture and society. That's easy. Second part, physical, it can do well, But the problem that I have found with every field trip, and this is not even me speaking from a teacher perspective, this is me speaking from a student. If a teacher is like, hey, we're going on a field trip, I just see that as a chance to get out of the classroom. And I'm like, cool. Like, I'll look around, but I really won't absorb anything. So I think the number one thing is being engaged. So if you are, before the field trip, setting up the context of this is what we should be looking at, this is why it's important, etc., I think it can work. I'm a really big, like, there's auditory and visual learners 100%, but like kinesthetic learning I think is really big, because if you get kids physically involved with stuff, so for example, like I did a bubonic plague game where they would walk in and I would hand them an index card and either say you're infected by the plague or you weren't. And you couldn't reveal your card either way. And students had to vote each other out. And they basically just had to like say, yeah, you're lying or you're not lying, and completely guess out of the dark. And it created a lot of paranoia, which allowed me to then go into primary sources to talk about, you know, mothers abandoning their children, husbands abandoning their wives, and vice versa, because of the paranoia of, oh my God, you might be sick. So I think it's, when it comes to teaching, it's about engagement. And then that is going to be the bridge to kids truly like having that light bulb moment of understanding, in my humble opinion. So that's what I think. Godfire, the other owners not kicked Snyder out because they just know they'll never be the worst owner. If he's actually skimming money from them, I think he's kicked out. Flatulent Toy, I like the Bostic idea. Son of a gun. No Flatulent, no. Justin, it's your dollar amount to do next year's interview as Elmo. There's none. There's none. Elmer loves Mark Murphy. Say for a history question, what war do you think it happened before World War I? Was the most influential on modern day war? Ooh, on the modern day world. Crimean was pretty big. The Crimean War was pretty big. Other than that, you're looking at like the 7 Years' War. I'd say that was a big one too. Lake with a fiver. Saw the movie Ambulance. It was really good. Now I'm giving you money. Thank you. That's the new one with what's his name? Michael Bay, who blows things up, right? Yeah, it's Michael Bay. Jojo. Draft 2022. Been a trade. The Commanders sent their 11th overall pick to Dan Snyder to hell in return for a non-sewage leaking stadium. Honestly, good vibes. Good trade. Boto winner! The GM nice bull. Just remember, as little guys when we become all famous or infamous. Whoa, Bo, no, wait. He's the president. He's not the GM. GM is Brian Gutekunst. That's Goody, but thank you, my good sir. It's number 4. So don't worry. I don't think I'm hot crap. Don't you worry. I appreciate you, Boto. Alex Fire, do you have a class that always gave you a hard time? My class in 3rd and 4th grade, it was made 2 teachers quit. I was not one of these kids. My kids, the last freshman class I ever taught in my old school, had a reputation, and they came in very proud of that reputation, that they made teachers cry. Let's just say they didn't make me cry. So no. I mean, like, there's some that were worse than others, but overall it was fine. DND with a 269 year intro and ASMR.
Grossi Posse Packer Nation, welcome to another episode of Podcast, the podcast where you don't have to be Packers fan, but it sure does help. I am your host, Tom ASMR Grossi, and today we are going to be talking about the volume in a graduated cylinder. But first, a word from our sponsors. Bed, Bath, and Not Beyond, but Limited. You see, at Bed, Bath & Limited, they really just have bedroom and bathroom supplies. So we're talking about sponges, talking about bedroom sets, maybe some quilts, but there's nothing beyond. Also, our other sponsor is going to be Old Man Deodorant. If you're an old man, you probably smell like death. Have some deodorant that will not make you smell like death. And now, onto the show.
Was that better? How's that? Well, all right. That's all. Mitchell, what if I was a future history teacher? I'm curious. AP classes better to teach. I enjoy them as a student, but do teachers like having them? Personally, one of the best classes I've ever taught was AP Euro. I love it. If you're up for a challenge, you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. Raywiter, what about the triumvirate wars against Napoleon? Yeah, it's up there. The thing is, like, after like the French Rev and stuff, things kind of like went back to the same. Like, you had a monarch that was back there, then Napoleon came back, and then a monarch came back again. Like, there's definitely things. I'd say like the 7 Years' War, though, is kind of like one of the first like world wars, so I'd say it was important. And then the Crimean kind of like really pitted Russia against the rest of Europe, which kind of set up a lot of stuff. So, like it, if I think Debo trade rumors are true. I think Debo's unhappy. I don't know if he's gonna get traded though. Apparently, he wants to get paid a lot of money. Downbutcher, you should have MLB and coach season 4. Problems to fire. How long were you out when Benkert hit you in the helmet? Kind of said you didn't announce your visit. I would have been cool to meet you at Lambeau. I literally had zero time to. People reached out and were like, "Can you meet?" And I could not. I just had no time to do it. I only stayed there for 3 days and then I flew out on Wednesday. So, no, it didn't hurt. It was fine. He chucked it, but I told him to hit me in the face. So it was fine. It was fine. Luke, if I would rather do a Mark Murphy interview as Elmo or teach middle school for a year. Mark Murphy is Elmo. Tower with a fire. Since Bill Belichick is obviously Chancellor Palpatine and Sidious, who's his Count Dooku, Darth Tyrannus? Is it Nick Saban? Nick Saban's up there. Yeah, I'd say Nick Saban's a good pick. Nick Saban's a good pick. Mitchell for fire. Who's the smartest student you ever had? Ooh. There was a couple off the top of my noggin. Like, there's one student in particular who was the best writer that I ever had. Ever. She was absolutely incredible. Best writer by far. Was in my AP Euro as a sophomore. Phenomenal. Then, in my last job, there was a student who skipped a few grades, was homeschooled for a while by college professors, and was absolutely incredible. She was really brilliant as well. So those are like two that really, really stick out to me as being incredibly, incredibly bright. So, yeah. Joe at 3, short World War I recap in ASMR voice.
In World War I, you basically had the rise of nationalism, armaments, and chaos. And everybody built up their armaments and was ready to fight. But then when the machine gun fire went, they go, oh crap, let me hide in a hole. And that's where trench warfare came from. And that was basically the entire war.
Mitchell, what a 5. If the atomic bombs were dropped, how do you think the invasion of Japan would be? Some say it would have been higher than bombings. Nope, I disagree. I think that there would have been far less casualties if they invaded. Personal opinion. So. Alex Fire, do you have any teacher you dislike? As a student, there are teachers I avoid, because I know they teach did not fit my style, how I learned. Oh yeah, there's plenty of teachers I hated. There's plenty. Are you kidding me? My 11th grade social studies teacher, I think I've said this on stream, she gave me C+. Like, if there's anything I'm really good at, it's writing. And she gave me C+ on all my papers. And I was like, what is this? Like, this is garbage. Like, I know I'm writing better than this. And then I got a 91 or 92. My 91 or I think it was 92 on the U.S. history regions. And I lived as soon as I got my score, I walked up to her and I go, hey, so there's multiple essays on that. So how did I get a C+ in your class, but I got a 92 on the regions? And her response literally was, I don't know. I was like, you're a terrible teacher. That, and then the guy who said that you would fail if you were a Republican, because that was just a super biased teacher and he just sucked. So even if the person, like the teacher, agrees with you or to disagree with you, if they're super biased, they just suck. Like if I, what shows or movies are you most looking forward to seeing this year? I'm hoping to see Everything Everywhere All the Time this weekend. I want to see the new Doctor Strange movie, new Thor, 100%. The Northman, I really want to see too. Better Call Saul coming back in about a week and a half. Real excited for that. Really, really, really excited for that. So, I've seen Robert Eggers. I saw The Witch. I saw that in theaters. I enjoyed that. Lighthouse. That was a weird ass movie. That was a very strange movie. But I'm excited to see what he could do with a Viking epic. So, yep. Yep. That's all I'm saying. Japanese government getting their soldiers to fly their planes into enemy is far worse than anything America did. That is so false. That is so wrong. Like that. World War II is, and excuse my French, is a shit show. World War II made it okay to bomb civilians. Dresden, for example. On top of that, the Tokyo fire bombings killed far more people than the atomic bomb. We also didn't know what the hell the atomic bomb was, and when we dropped it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we had no idea what was going to come of that. The way I know that is because I did research for months for a research paper on what the America was planning to do with the atomic bomb following the dropping. They were going to drop it into hurricanes because they thought it could disperse the storm because they didn't know about the radiation. So no. I know this is not a tit for tat, but absolutely not. The thing is World War II has been rewritten in such simplistic terms that it's good guys versus bad guys. Because spoilers, Nazis are bad. They are very, very bad, right? So because they're so bad and so evil, the assumption is, well, who's ever opposing them is the good guy. But World War II is such a crap show, and everybody does such terrible things. It's rough. It's a rough time. So, yeah, it's like you talk about some stuff that like the U.S. pardoned and like trading information and immunity for like for research experiments. What was it, Unit 91 or 93 in Japan? There's some bad stuff. There's some bad stuff. Gilbert, if I already seen a TV spot for Multiverse of Madness, Wanda's children were revealed. Yes, I am very excited. Very excited. Zeno, it's her. Where is Bruce and Springsteen's reaction? We want it. Don't worry. It will come. Was the new Kingsman good? Or the new Kingsman? I mean, I liked the first one. I never even saw the second one, though. Burn with the fire. Speaking of firebombing at Dresden, Slaughterhouse 5 is a crazy read. All nice and fun, then suddenly, no, it's not okay. Slaughterhouse 5 is a fantastic book. 431. Thank you, Benny Tech. 431. Yes. But yeah. Yeah. Slaughterhouse 5, great. Great. Right, Unit 731. Is it 731 or 290? Is it... Now, hold on. Oh, 731. Yeah, 731. Yeah, where they're literally, like, exposing people to, like, get frostbite and amputating their arms just because. And they're like, this is for science. And the U.S. was like, you get immunity to get this stuff. And it's all pseudo bullcrap science. Mm-hmm. It's bad. It's just bad. Mitchell, wait up, Benny! Boop! Say it. There's an English teacher in high school who would base his grade on how much he liked you, which is to say how much food you had brought. Me and two friends submitted word for word the same thing on an assignment, got A, a B, and a D. Wow. That's something. That's bad teaching. That is bad teaching. That's a bad teacher right there. Yeah, that's not good. And you don't even notice? Like, read through the essays. Mitchell, to afford Nixon's pardon, right or wrong decision? I understand the rationale for it, but we did not learn from it. Rat-a-tat, Matt, what a fire. So I take world history next year. I'm going to show up to all Q&As with my homework questions. Yes, Matt. Yes, yes, and yes. John, what, 20? Hope you had a blast in Wisconsin, John. I had a great time. I had a grand old time. I enjoyed myself. Sean with a fire. Tom, please talk to Goody about trading up the Chargers. Get Olave, that we fix our RT situation, grab a late second rounder. I'll make some calls. They'll go unanswered, but I'll make some calls. Zach, I remember having a debate in high school about if we should have dropped both bombs. One of them or neither of them. What is your opinion? I had that exact same conversation. So I give students multiple primary sources from both perspectives and of like, for and against it. To be honest, I think it was, the way I look at it, one of my U.S. college professors, his father was on the boat ready to invade Japan, like ready for that land invasion. And he was of the opinion that the only person that would have died in that invasion would have been his father because he would have like fallen off the boat. So would I think it's necessary? No. If you're dropping one, I understand it a little bit more. Because we didn't know the effects of it until long thereafter. So, two, I think a lot of it, I think that there are a lot of motives of why the US dropped the atomic bomb, and those motives are very problematic, to say the least. Evo Atur, hi. Hi. Mitch Atur, what's the worst thing the British Empire ever did? Oh, boy. Shaw made us. Oh, boy. Holly's here. The British Empire. Oh, Jesus. Luke, you want to take this one? God, I mean, India's pretty bad. Their involvement in the Atlantic slave trade, pretty bad. There's a lot of things there. There's a couple things there, but I'd say probably in India and Egypt is pretty bad too. But colonization of Africa's on there. Yeah, but slave trade's pretty bad. Alex Otero never had his teacher. She was hated by every student in my high school. Strict, horrible attitude. Just gave us busy work. She taught AP English. I felt bad for the kids who had her. Like those, again, I feel so bad for students who never experienced a good teacher because it just get the hell out of the job then, you suck. Paul's your opinion on Manifest Destiny. P.S. I'm native. There are a lot more opinions on Manifest Destiny than just Manifest Destiny. I mean, you're talking about the treatment of the natives. It goes way beyond Manifest Destiny. You're talking about boarding schools. You're talking about Trail of Tears. There's so many things to look at. But it's this opinion that our culture, and when I say our, I mean American, which is so hard to even define, is greater than. And I think that that's a huge problem. So, yeah, Manifest Destiny, yeah, bad. Ray Turner talks about how bad Khan was. Oh, yeah. Facts. Those are big facts. Those are big facts. Taxation without representation. D&D to our World 1 and 2 history stream, please. Go, 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 go. Eric Witt, I did not see. I haven't watched John Oliver in a while. It's honestly just because of time, but I haven't watched him in a bit. Luke and Fire with the Cold War. An actual USA versus Russia World War III if the bomb was never invented. Worst thing our empire did was slave trade and India famine. Oh, look, like I said. No, we owe it to a Russian that World War III didn't break out because there was a malfunction in which they thought that the US launched nukes and he decided not to. So, yeah. If it was never invented, no, there are still problems because you had FDR and then you had Truman, and Truman hated them. So, I think it was going to happen. Mitchell Fire, middle school, everyone hated the Spanish teacher. She yelled at one kid so bad when she left her room for lunch, he peed in her coffee cup. Oh. Okay. Phil Rivers! Daughter's first birthday? Happy freaking fracking birthday to your daughter. That's amazing. I hope she had a great day. Carlos with a fire. The little information we have. Who would you have a star? Jordan Love or Trey Lance? Is it bad that I say Trey Lance? Thomas with fire. How the hell did a small country like England control so much back then? Was it just their technological advances? It was their style of government, which 100% helped. Parliament is people don't understand how revolutionary Parliament was at that time. When you see a lot of these European countries going into absolutism and then they try it, like Charles I tries it in England and he gets his head chopped off. So yeah, no. Parliament, I would say, would be like the number one thing. They also had the infrastructure. They did have natural resources. On top of that, they weren't affected by the 30 Years' War. The 30 Years' War, like, devastates the Holy Roman Empire. And England's like, we're on an island. Like, we're chilling. So, like, for you to engage in war with them, that would have been incredibly difficult. So, for example, you had Philip from the Spanish Empire who created the Spanish Armada, like going after England, and it's the greatest navy in the history of the world at that point, and they sink because it's an island and there's storms and there's Francis Drake and there's a whole lot of things that go into that. So I think it's geography, natural resources, and government is going to kind of be the main things. Toss. Oh yeah, gotcha. Just answered that. Okay. David with a fire. Talking heads are already saying the Cincinnati Bengals not even make the playoffs this year. Where's this coming from? Your thoughts? I think the Ravens are going to be a much better team. Browns, I think, are going to be good. But considering they have an offensive line, I think they should be fine. Rats out of fire. My freshman year coming to a close somewhat soon. Good teachers, 10 million% make or break class. Yes. Agreed. Eighth to a terror. Parliament was absolutely revolutionary. George Clinton's jams are nothing short of legendary, to speak nothing of funkadelic as well. I'm telling you, Parliament, people underestimate it. They underestimate it 1,000,000%. Like, it's a revolutionary way of government for its time. Oh, we're at 69 minutes? Nice. Brokewood Fire, my high school world history teacher, had us make commercial pitches for Industrial Revolution, folks. At Alfred Noble, and I did as Billy Mays. That's amazing. That's awesome. Billy Mays here. Brilliant Fire. It's funny because I was growing up, I was told America is the best country in the world, and as an adult, you learn the opposite. Well, that's a great point, because I feel like that's a very interesting comment, because I feel like you could, this is monologue time, you can equate it to a couple different things. Calcio Tour 69-minute warning. Nice. Because I grew up Catholic, for example, and it was never really like my thing, but I went, and when I got to college, I learned a lot about like the history of the Catholic Church, and I was like, "Oh, this is not so great." And then it just wasn't a thing for me. It is what it is. With America and like the United States, I feel like, and it's gotten so politicized now, that if you acknowledge some of the god-awful things, and they were, like the god-awful things that have happened in the history of this country, and almost every single country on this planet has those terrible things. Hell, look at Belgium. They're killing 10 million people in the Congo, right? So the thing is, if you bring that up, there are those who go, you're un-American, you hate America, blah, 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 America's this, that, and the other thing. But, and this is coming from a history teacher, you can acknowledge those things and then want to say, okay, these things happened. Let's make sure they never happen again. Let's make sure that things are better in the future. Let's make sure that that kind of stuff is a black mark in our history book, and let's make it better so that we can move on, we can progress. And the thing is, you have people who are looking at that and going, like, nope, we're not going to acknowledge that. We're going to take that away. We're not going to teach about that, what have you. And it's frustrating because, again, as a former history teacher, you can talk about and acknowledge terrible things that your country has done or that has happened in your country's history without hating the country that you live in, and instead going, man, I love my country so much. I want to make it so much better. How do we do that? Let's not repeat the mistakes of the past, and then maybe, it could be something that's going to be beneficial for the majority of people. That's my humble opinion. Paladin Fire. When I had a history teacher in high school, we actually formed a hoplite phalanx. Yes! Yes! If you figured out I'm going to teach you how to have fun. Phalanx all the way. All the way. All the way. All the way. History repeats itself all the time. All the time. But, like, for you to say, hey, there's some racist-ass policies that were created, like, after the Civil War, and that, again, the big thing I use the GI Bill, in which, like, my grandfather benefited from, and then you have black soldiers, black veterans, who are unable to benefit from that same GI Bill, which then shapes generations. It's not going, oh, well, you hate America because you're acknowledging that. Nay, nay, nay. It's instead looking at that and going, hey, we should try to make sure that crap never happens again and do what we can to fix that. Like, that's it. That's all we do. Because the more that we try to, like, you know, put roses and smiley faces and rainbows, like, with our terrible, with things that are terrible in our past, and there's some great things in our past, don't get me wrong, like, it just, I think it belittles our accomplishments. Because if you're a country that's able to rise from that and be better, even though you have a very, you have some troubled history, then you're like, wow, we were able to do all that. Like, that's a positive thing. And, like, I bring up Belgium because, like, you look at what they do to the Congolese. Like, they killed 10 million people in the Congolese, like, in Congo. And it's so awful. And there's, like, one museum that dedicates. And today there are people who are like, it wasn't that bad. There are people because they don't want to acknowledge that. Like, that's horrible. Like, that's not bad. 10 million. Like, if you've never heard of the Congolese massacre, and not everyone does, it's not always treated in global, because the Belgians are like, oh, like, they're like, they're not really doing anything. Nay, nay, nay. They go, they basically stake out the Congo, and they like, we're there for education purposes, and they chop off people's hands, they starve people, they kill 10 million people. There's freaking human zoos that they have. Like, that's terrible stuff. And I'm not trying to, like, detract of, like, oh, America, they've done, like, terrible things. It's just an example that a country can do terrible things. And if you acknowledge that, go, we're never going to do that stuff ever again. That is what shows progress and growth of a country more than anything. You look back at your past mistakes and go, we're never doing that crap again. Colbert Fire. The favorite saying goes, those that fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Accurate. Alex O'Tanner was lucky all my English teachers knew I'd get my work done early because I write, so when I finished early, I helped kids who struggled at writing. They helped my spelling because that was my weakness. That sounds great. Ethan with a $5. Tom Grossi 2024, Make America a Posse Again. If you could pick someone from clickbait as your running mate, who'd it be? Oh, it's Perna. Easy. Easy. Ben with a $5. First step in continuous improvement is to acknowledge that the system you are attempting to improve requires improvement. Perfect, Ben. Perfect. Thomas Fire opinion, inflation is not due to demand and supply. The children of wealthy not wanting to split profit. Oh, boy. Yeah. I think nowadays inflation is also used as a scapegoat. But, yeah. You look at the recession back in 2008, you look at the pandemic back in 2020, and how those things were handled by both presidents, both of various parties, mind you. Mistakes were made. I do think that there is a level of, hey, we're going to use inflation as the big bad guy to justify some of the things that we do. But I think if we're going to say, hey, inflation is causing this, then inflation has always been around, right? So you're looking at like 2 to 3% per year. So how come wages haven't gone up that? Like, people go, oh, $15 minimum wage, it's too little. And again, there's different costs of living throughout this country, but yeah, like it's, I think it's used as like a big bad boogeyman for something. And it's very real, don't get me wrong, but I think it's used as a boogeyman. So Yeah. Billy Joel. He did say that. Thanks, Zach. Pat Beatifier, good book on the Congo's King Leopold's Ghost. Yes, highly recommend. Mitchell, Latour, Carter, or Biden, which was better, seems similar-ish. I don't think you've gotten enough of Biden to make that assumption. I think Biden has done some good stuff, but at the same time, I think that he hasn't gone far enough. And I think like this whole like, oh, we might, cancel student debt. It's just like hey, go out and vote for Democrats in the midterm. I think that I'm tired of voting for 80-year-old white men as the two best options in this country. I think that there just needs to be something different. And I think that's honestly truly for both parties, because I think that we have gotten so involved in culture wars and we're getting so pissed off and upset and angry about things that just keep us divided that we don't actually make true progress. And that winds up stifling our progress. And Wiser, welcome to the Grossi Posse. I mean, I do. Boto to fire. We need brain slugs like in Futurama that everyone will be peaceful. Elect Hypnotoad for president. Hypnotoad, all for president. No! Webcams is back! No! Webcams back. Mm-hmm. That webcams are back. The webcams. The freaking webcams. Golden, did I get you? No, it's too. WrestleMania is way better than it should have been. I actually liked it a lot. Yeah, I think for the most part it was a very solid show. I agree. I think it was a very solid show. So, yeah. 100%. 100%. Beardy with 20, Father Tom. So did you sign your new wide receiver one contract with, you interviewed Mark Murphy? No, but there is a moment where he says, like, we need wide receivers, and I do raise my hand, and he didn't notice. You'll see that tomorrow when I do that, so, yes. Yes. Jay, 3 months flew by. Can't wait for all that tasty draft content next season, Coach. Jay, oh, it's coming soon. Much love from Brazil. Yes. Mitchell, would Tim Scott be a good candidate for the Republican Party? I mean, he's not super old, so like that's a good thing. I think like the issue is that a lot of like, again, it comes down to cultural stuff, but like the Republican Party saying we don't want big government like in our business, we don't want them telling us what to do with our lives, but then like going in and being like, you are going to say these books are out, or like this is what you have, like it just seems like it's culture war bullshit. And I think that you see that definitely 100% from both sides, but I feel like it's gotten to a point where it's, oh, because we're dividing ourselves in this cultural war tribalism BS, I don't even think we're voting for policies anymore. Like, we're voting for, oh, well, they agree with my opinion on this, so, all right, I'm going to vote for that person. Like, it's just, it makes no, like, we make, oh my God, there's a book about queer kids, like, in our libraries that no one cared about 2 years ago. And, like, this is speaking as a former librarian / teacher. And, like, what happened to, like, free speech? And what happened to, like, go again, like, no one's, like, forcing these books down anybody's throat. And this is just, like, one talking point that I'm talking about. But, like, why are we talking about this? Like, truly, like, why are we? Like, those books are there. Those books are not hurting anybody, right? It's not like you're giving Mein Kampf to a kid with no context and saying, here you go. So, like, the amount of time and effort and focus we're spending on that stupid crap, I don't know, guys. Like, what about the fact of, like, let's take care of our veterans? What about that? What about the homeless crisis that we have? What about the housing crisis as a whole that we have? Like, what about that stuff? I feel like that's a little bit more important than going, well, there's this book that mentions these people, and I don't know about that. Like, it just, it doesn't, it's such stupid crap. And I'm sorry, as a former educator, it's coming down to a point that, like, who wants to educate, like, your kids? Because when you have so many people saying, hey, you can't teach about this, and this, like, this CRT, critical race theory, like, it's a buzzword. It's a freaking buzzword, man. Because you teach about this stuff. A good teacher teaches about this within the curriculum and goes, hey, this stuff happened. Here's some primary sources. Here's how to analyze it. Have a nice day, right? Boom. And again, the number one thing you could do as a teacher is teach kids to critically think, not match your opinion or thinking as an educator. That is the worst thing that you could do. If I am a Republican or a Democrat and I convince a child to be a Republican or Democrat, I am not a good teacher. 1,000,000% I'm not a good teacher. If I could give them, and this is a thing that I did, and I've talked about this on stream before, if I give them, hey, this is a right-leaning news site, this is a left-leaning news site, here's a moderate website, compare what's different, what's similar, etc., boom. Now you're able to look at it. You're able to critically analyze the sources that you read. You're not going to believe any bull crap that you're going to read on the internet. That's the best thing that I could do for you ever as a teacher, because that's stuff that transcends the classroom. Best thing. But no, we're focused on stupid ass library books. Alex Fire, what was the assignment that students had fun making? 11th grade, 5-page horror story, non-graphics, a lot of fun. I've had them do, I had students make a guillotine before. I had one student who made a French Revolution dress that was of Marie Antoinette, and one was like a very royal, like, bougie part, and the other one was like a bloody rag, because, like, that's basically what she wore to the guillotine. I've done so much stuff. I've had kids do poems. I've had kids do raps. The way that they wanted to present it. A lot of the times I left the medium up to students, as long as the content was there and they were able to explain their understanding of the topic. They could use whatever medium they want. I think that was very important for them to do, because and again, like, I taught them how to write, don't get me wrong, because I think that's one of the most important things you could do. But Colby, congrats on meeting Kurt. Thank you. Kurt's awesome. Kurt is awesome. Oh yeah, students made guillotines. Like, it was like a small one, right? It was a small one, but yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Clyde, if I preach Tom Sawyer, one of the reasons why I'm not a social studies education major anymore. It sucks because teachers, I'm going to speak in generalities, teachers go into the profession because they care about it. They care about educating students, because you sure as hell don't go in it for the money. You definitely don't. You work, 7 days a week. You really do. Unless you're a terrible teacher, and you're like, oh, I'm tenured, I don't really care, and, I'm just waiting for retirement and summer's off. That's not the way to go into teaching. And the thing is, not only you paid crap, but on top of that, you are essentially forced now to teach a certain way. And I don't agree with it. Parents, again, I taught during 2 election years, and I taught civics in 2020. I taught civics to a group of seniors, and earlier that year, a mom called me a communist just for introducing myself. I was like, hey, I'm your son's civics teacher. And they're like, everyone's a communist. I was like, cool, whatever. And I never got a single complaint. So I was fortunate in that regard, because I knew how to create that atmosphere and that ambiance of making sure that students felt that they could express their opinion. And I had students who were saying global warming's real, global warming's fake, talking about they were hardcore Republicans, hardcore Democrats. And we actually had conversations about it, and it made us a better class for that, because we were exposed to these opinions. And that, because there's no dialogue anymore, right? It's you're X, Y, and Z. You're this, that, and the other thing. Like, it doesn't help. All it does is score cheap, crappy political points, and then you get to go into office, and as long as you have a great roast that day on Twitter, or a great roast, maybe you'll get voted for again. And that's not the way it should go. Like, it's not the way that things should be. Because at the end of the day, oh man, I'm so glad my representative called that person a communist, or I'm so glad that that person called that person whatever. I'm so glad they said that. Oh wait, I still have an epidemic when it comes to a housing crisis, or when it comes to the amount of homelessness that's going on in the streets. Like, great. I'm so glad though that you got your points in and you got a lot of retweets on Twitter. It's stupid crap. It's so stupid. And we have gotten down, and these are these last two political debates too, for presidential debates. They've gotten so freaking dumb. They've turned into roast battles. That's what Comedy Central is for. If you go back and look at Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump debating, what the hell is any of their policies? You don't know. You don't know a single one of their policies. Because it's like, well, who can insult the other person the most? It's garbage. It's garbage. Bono at 20, allow people to think for themselves instead of being forced to think. As long as you don't hurt children, animals, or your significant other, you're basically a good person regardless of party affiliation. It's gotten so divisive that it's, oh, you voted for this, or oh, you voted for this. Yeah. And Wiser, fire. Hey, Tom, just wanted to ask you, you think the Vikings have a realistic chance of winning the North? Do they? Yes. I think they do. I think the Packers are still their biggest competition, but they do. Thomas would have 500 years from now as a formal teacher. Are we Star Trek or Idiocracy? Idiocracy. All the way. All the way. All the way. Idiocracy. All the way. All the way. No more beaming. This time I'm going to walk. As a Spaceballs reference. Yeah. And it's sad. Like, it's legitimately sad. And there's people that I have as my mods. There are some people that I have, that are fans and have reached out to me, and we've had talks about like this kind of stuff. And like, I can engage in those kind of talks and not be like, oh, you're a god-awful person, because even if you agree, like my students, when I was teaching and I taught for 6 years, they never knew my political affiliation. Never. Regardless of what people assumed on YouTube. Like they never knew. And they wanted to. Trust me, they wanted to. 2016, I walked in to a group of students and they were like, Mr. Grossi, who'd you vote for? And I was like, it's not my business to tell you. I'm like, we're going to look at a political map and we're going to look at an electoral map and we're going to see who voted for who and why they could have done it. That's not my job. Because as a teacher, you may have the privilege of being someone that students look up to, and it is not your job to influence their opinion on who to vote for. Your job is to give them the tools so that they can figure out who they are as human beings. That's what your job is. Janine with a 5. We decided we shouldn't talk about politics, sex, religion. Now we can't talk about politics, sex, or religion. Yes. 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 That's all. That's all. All right, that was a rant. That was a rant. Wrenches assemble! Animated fire. Superhero theory. A utopia and a one-world government are pretty much the same thing, and we're all fighting for it. I don't think we're all fighting for it. I disagree with that. I do not think we're all fighting for that at all. I think we're all fighting for our own different visions. And true story, one of my favorite movies that has been made in quite a long time is Arrival. Because if aliens came down today, right now, boom, aliens coming from outer space, who are they going to talk to? Who's the leader they talk to? There's no one global leader. There's no one unified leader. We're all divided. Like that's it. I love that movie because of that, because each country handles it differently. Are they going to talk to other countries? Are they not going to talk to it? I really enjoy it. So, yeah. Like, some country might look at it and be like, I want to throw a nuke at it. I don't like these aliens. They might do it. You know? So, yeah. All right. Rachel's going to bring cookies. Okay. Cool. Come speak to me. Thomas Grossi of the basement. Yes? God, what if they're Vikings fans? Oh, God. What a great pour again. Look at that. What a great pour. Damn Tara, you are a leader for our cult. That's not a cult, Father Tom. Oh God, see, this is how the FBI starts looking into things. It's not good. Not good. Flambeau Tenor. What do you think about thinking that someone is uneducated when arguing with? What do you think about thinking that someone is uneducated when arguing with them? Personally, I don't like it because it doesn't entertain the possibility that you're wrong. So you're arguing with someone who's uneducated. Well, here's the thing. I think that term uneducated is also problematic because even if they're a high school dropout, they could be brilliant in a trade. They could be brilliant in another field that you could not possibly imagine. If you're talking about someone who instead is uneducated on a certain topic, right? So let's just say, hell, we just had a pandemic, right? And they're just spouting off talking points and whatever. I think it becomes an intrinsic thing. And this is sad. Don't get me wrong, it's sad. I think that it's that idea of like lead a horse to water. But at some point, if you are unable, and this hurts as an educator, and like I did all that I could, but if there were students who were like, nope, I don't care what I'm looking at. I don't care whatever. I'm not going to analyze this. I'm going to go back to what my parents said. I'm going to go back to what this media channel said or site said, etc. Then they kind of, and I feel like that's unfortunately where we are. It's that we are digesting one side, one source, or a group of sources in our echo chambers and are unwilling to even hear the other person or other side. And when we do or attempt to talk to the other side, it's the assumption that they are wrong. And when you have that assumption, and if it's strong enough, no matter what they say, you're not going to believe it, right? Even if they completely prove you wrong. Because if you go back, and this is something that develops in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, if you go to college, there is such this fear and shame that comes with being wrong. And I think that that is a very deeply rooted thing in our society, because if I said before, like what I was talking about with World War II, like, oh, the US and like Japan, like I think it was like Unit 91, and Ray and Ben corrected me and said Unit 731. If I stomped my feet and slammed the glass and said, no, I think it's Unit 91, and they sent me all these articles, no, Tom, it's Unit 731 and blah, 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 right? If I admit that I'm wrong, there's that, oh my God, I'm wrong. People are not going to respect me. I think one of the best things that you can do as a human being is evolve from opinions. That is one of the best things that you can do. Because if you just say, I'm from birth, I have this opinion until I die. What does that mean? Either one, you are so locked into that opinion, or you're in an echo chamber. You haven't encountered other people with other opinions. You've never listened to other opinions. Like, I think it takes a lot of bravery, and I think it takes a lot of moxie to say, yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong. My opinion has changed. My opinion has changed. Because I got a bunch of facts. I got things that were true. I looked at them and I changed my opinion. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a great thing. But people are, if I say the sky is purple and people are like, sky is blue, oh, well, crap. Well, I can't admit now that the sky is blue. I'm going to look like an idiot. So I'm just going to go find things that reaffirm the idea that the sky is purple. I think that's a problem. Bailey Whitaker just got here and I am confused. Aren't we all? It's like watching Coach. It's like Coach all over again. All over again. Thomas Whitaker, most ironic first contact North Korea. Dude, that'd be great. Jory with a fire. A brighter note, when we get in that clickbait D&D campaign, I am pitching that in the off season. You better believe it. Colts with a fire. You plan on watching the upcoming college football season? Which team do you think will win the CFP? I probably won't, honestly. But go Wisconsin. Broke fire. Person of the aliens learn about Kitty Goes Meow. Same. Boto to fire. What's the net on Jerry Seinfeld, who said cookies solved everything? I mean, they do, though. They do. Nicole! What's going on? Win a 10 or 8, Tom. LT and I can only pop in for a bit. Had to take our pupper to the emergency vet. You can imagine how we're feeling right now. Drink up for us. Love to the posse. Nicole, Altia, I hope we're both doing well. Oh, I hope. I hope that puppy's okay. I hope your pupper's okay. Keep me posted. Positive thoughts for both of you. Josh Fire might have been a rant, but it was an excellent rant, full of excellent points that may have that have needed to be said for a long time before. Thank you. Appreciate that, Josh. Inject 3 months. That's it. Felt like it was longer. I get that a lot. I do. Let's see. Flambeau, if I had a friend that described someone as uneducated, but then within minutes I had thought of 3 reasons why she was wrong. There is a thing on Reddit that was floating around like a couple weeks ago that was like someone had to like gauge the intelligence level of someone, and they picked this one person to be not intelligent because they like of what the clothes they're wearing, how they carried themselves, and she was the least intelligent person in the room based off an IQ test. And I was like, that's great. That's great. Joe at 3, totally agree. Most underused phrase that people need to say, I was wrong, I'm sorry. Inject with a $20. So now I'll use the example of climate change. Before I thought it wasn't that bad, and it was the Earth warming, but it being an atmospheric science major, it taught me I was severely wrong, but it took some months to accept that. There you go. And there's like, again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's not be like, oh yeah, like, I had information before, and I learned new information. Great, that's what you're supposed to do as a person. Alex Switcher, how do we save the Giants? We suck, it's not fun. I think you got the right coach behind it. Offensive line, figure out who your starting quarterback is. That's gonna be the biggest starts. Soul, I remember how people would argue with you about your veganism, and no matter how much you tried to explain your beliefs and why you did it, they ignored it and kept being rude AF towards you. Yeah, I mean, listen, like, I haven't had a real argument with veganism, like, because I have I have beliefs for a very certain reason, and I think, for me personally, I can't morally justify eating meat and saying when I have an alternative to not do that. And like, that's my opinion. But the amount of people that are just like, well, and just like, you know, like, where I'm just like, okay, like, that's your opinion. I'm not gonna force you because I can't. Like, at the end of the day, I can't. I cannot make you. I can give you whatever sources, studies, everything about the environment, about animal cruelty, about this, that. I can give you all the things. But I can't make you do anything. And I realized that a long time ago. And cool, I'm going to do me. You do you. You want to have a civil convo about it? Cool. You don't? Cool. It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, the only person and only emotions that you control are yours. That's all you can do. And you could try. You definitely could try. And I understand, like, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, but you know, the amount of cruelty that's going on, and to talk about the environmental impact. And yeah, I get it. I understand people are pissed. I understand. And I get it. And like, listen, there's some anger 100%, But at the end of the day, if I go up to somebody and I get in their face and I'm like, "Brr, brr, 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 brr," I don't think that's the most effective method. And people will disagree with that. Vegans will disagree with me on that. You know, and I think that there are people who will look at it and be like, "Oh, Tom, you're a good vegan because you don't force it down my throat." But I also think it's like religion, right? My grandmother, who's now passed, she thought that, you know, she thought some crazy stuff, but she legitimately thought like, hey, like I wanted to save my family because I don't want them to go and burn in hell, right? And like, I get it. Like that's your desire based off of whatever, whoever's telling you things. You know, I also, personal opinion, completely personal, like I don't need a religion or anything to tell me to be a good person. I think that you are a good person with you trying the best that you can, and that's all that I'm doing. And so because of that, I'm not eating meat, like because I can't justify it. I love my dogs. I love them more than anything, right? I could, unless I was on a deserted island, right? It's always like, oh, well, vegans on a deserted island. Yeah, because that's survival, right? If I had no options, would I eat a pig on a desert island? Yes. So the inverse of that is, okay, what if you're not on a desert island and you have all these options? Would you choose an alternative? That's it. Foster, saying, scrolling up. Making my way downtown. I just want to say I love this community so damn much. Also, bowling or mini golf? Mini golf all day. Gigator, you placed any tiles when Place was up? Yeah, I tried to help out the Green Bay Packers subreddit. Yes. Boto, what if I'm sorry, you were wrong. Oops, you were wrong. I'm sorry. Crap, I'm sorry. I guess I was wrong. Exactly. You can learn a lot from that. Dylan, what if I just bought a car, Tom? Hell yeah, Dylan. Congratulations, feeling good. Hope you're doing well. I was wondering, did you watch Mania? Also, what was your favorite match? Love Cody Seth. Dude, Cody's entrance was perfect. It was perfection. Favorite match was probably Bianca and Becky, though. But I did enjoy Mania. I really did. I was able to see Cody's entrance while I was on the plane. Mitchell Fire, crazy how many geniuses have died without being given a chance to bloom. Truly mind-boggling of what could have been. True. Shark, what if I only get the Tom Grossi heel turn? Bob wanted a tenor. If Will Smith got banned for 10 years, Tree should probably get 50 for the roast he gave to the Cowboys yesterday on clickbait. Yeah. Tanya, hey Tom Kitty goes to me. I have to say I really enjoyed your rant. Everyone needs to vent once in a while, and everything you said was so true and valid. Appreciate you. Spencer, hey Tom, first chat. Question. What do you think will be the most interesting storyline for the both NFC and AFC? AFC West? Are they all going to kill each other? NFC? Can the Packers do something? Please. Please. Mods, appreciate you. Nick, hey Tom, just want to pop by and say hello to you and everyone else. Have a great weekend. Tomminess. Appreciate you. If I go to a restaurant with no vegan options, we just go to another one and just get something. Yeah, I mean, I had that on Tuesday. I went to a place that I didn't think I was going to be able to eat. What's going on, Big B? And I didn't. I just ate when I got home. That's all. But that's the thing, too. Like, I'm also not inconvenienced by this because I grew up literally allergic, not lactose intolerant, allergic to dairy. Do you know how many times in elementary school I was invited to pizza parties? I couldn't eat a thing. So I'm kind of used to that. So it didn't bother me. Mitchell, if I was a Christian, just want to explain that we are so preachy because it's what we're called to do. Real ones need no disrespect, just want to help. Yeah, Mitchell, like, listen, that's the thing, too. I think being a Christian, that's also such a wide umbrella, right? Like, there's so many different denominations in the way that they handle Christianity. And I think it's a matter of people are going to find themselves where they want to be in time. So, like, I get it. You know, if you are under the belief that, oh man, like, I want to save these people because I think that they're going to go to hell or eternal damnation, like, I get that need to want to help. And I think that call is ultimately a good thing. I think at the same time, religion gets a little tricky because it's, well, you're also saying that this one religion is correct, or this one denomination of a religion is correct. And I think that there is a history on this planet of groups of people using religion to justify doing things that are not so great, or to eradicate other cultures and replace it with their own. And I think that that's where it becomes a problem. Once you have that power complex of my belief system is superior to yours, it's a problem. If you're not that, then great. And you're just like, hey, here's some information, blah, 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 blah. Fine. But once you start going, no, this is what's right, this is what, like, of all things, this is what's right, it gets dicey. Daniel, are you going to the Bucks playoff game this year? I am most definitely going to try. Nick with a fire. Hey, Tom, wish you a great weekend. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Ray Turret. Tim, you're such an extremist. Oh, Tom. Wow, you just call me Tim? What the hell, Ray? Brandon Fire. Who harder, Will Smith or Perfect? It's Perfect. Run a special for the AFC West this year. Don't worry, there'll be some AFC West stuff. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Gator, honestly, I'm religious because I'm terrified of death. That's how it kind of started. Answering questions of the unknown. Oh, Ray with a fiver. Oh, you funny, huh? Big B might coming to camp this year. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Of course I am. Of course I am. Of course. Scoutify. All Republicans vote against lower insulin prices. I think that that's a policy issue, and there are good people on both sides. Yeah, I don't think there's good people on both sides, 100%. But, like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, no, let's focus on the library books instead of insulin, which, by the way, was given out for, like, $1. That it was just like, hey, you could take this information and you could produce insulin for super cheap. That's a whole nother thing. Ray Turret, you not notice the bad English as well? Oh, I noticed. Oh, great. Rohan with a 3-er, Tim. Greasy. Thank you. O'Donnell with a 2-er. What D&D classes would the West characters play? Well, Lenny's a bard. 100%. Lewis might be a barbarian. Actually, no. Might have Breck be a barbarian, honestly. Yeah. Captain Oakley is just a pirate. He makes his own. When we will see Freddy again. Tone change. Coach. Grissy Pissy? Grissy Pissy? You the Grissy Pissy? Oh, that's terrible. Boto to fire. People have used all religions to manipulate other people to basically get land. All hail the people that control the simulation. Matrix. Inject. Hey, Tim. Did you get another Skillo cookie recently? Hey, Inject. You get a quarterback or a head coach recently? No, I haven't gotten a cookie. I have not gotten a cookie. It's the Grissy Pissy, and it's the Grissy Pissy. Yep. Who's gonna burn down the house and coach? Good question. Dan turns a history teacher. Favorite U.S. history moment? Favorite? Again, it's the cultural changes in post-World War I. It's boring, but that's the one. Fly on fire. Hey, politician. What the other does, the other must oppose. I firmly believe that if Trump cured cancer, Democrat politicians would find a problem. Yeah, I believe the same exact thing about Biden. If Biden was like, here's the cure to cancer, people would be like, whoa! Inject Terror. Hey, Tim. Did you get another wide receiver one recently? Hey, Hey, Inject, is Michael Thomas going to be actually healthy this year? Or is he just going to catch slant passes once again? Starter, how fun was the scooter roast? It was pretty good. It was pretty solid. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. We're getting spicy. We're getting spicy now. Hey, Tim. Hey, Tim. Long-time fan, first-time caller here. Ready to fire. Bet that sentence automatically made your mind want to reach for a red marker. Look at the name of the mod chat. I don't. Grissy pissy wrenches. Oh my god. Jack must have had some spicy gumbo. I'm gonna go for a low blow here. I'm gonna go for a low blow. Hey, Inject. You remember when your defensive backs couldn't tackle Stephon Diggs and the Vikings beat you with Case Keenum? I remember. I do. Connor Fire, anytime love your content, are you aware how many living creatures, rodents, deer, insects die while harvesting crops? Yes, I do. I do realize that. Because that's usually the argument that comes up, right? Field mice, rabbits, insects, etc. The thing is that, for example, soy. The majority of soy that is produced on this planet is for factory farms. So even if we were going to say, hey, let's try and save all that stuff, the thing is, you're still killing those animals that you spoke of, and then you're killing the animals post that as well. On top of that, there's the old, plants have feelings too. Okay, well, if we believe that plants have feelings, let's disregard mowing our lawns and all that stuff. But again, you look at all the oats and wheat and stuff like that that is produced for factory farms, for cattle and things like that to eat. We're just doing double the damage. So again, even if you cared about those things, you would still go vegan because then it would only be doing that one level of harm. Am I a perfect person as a vegan? Absolutely freaking fracking not, and I don't think I'm morally superior to anybody else. However, if we're looking at the realism here, we're still, it's not the whataboutism of like, oh, look at the rodents you're killing. Okay, so you're killing the rodents, but you're still doing that to then kill the cows and kill all the other livestock. So, Injector, I have you know that Michael Thomas has more yards with routes that wasn't slants, so take that. Also, how is wasting a first-round pick on Jordan Love? Tim? Oh, okay. How is winning only one Super Bowl with Drew Brees? Well, how is only winning one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers? Bad. It was bad all around, but at least we didn't have a crappy movie made about it. So, winning, done, nailed it, crushed it. Nailed it. 10 out of fire. Hey, Tim. Son of a bitch. Who's the best QB to wear 12 and why is it Tom Brady? Not Tom Brady. Ray. You're welcome, Tim. Thanks so much, Ray. Thank you. Thank you. Injector, so we're not going to talk about Seattle? No! We're not going to talk about Seattle. We're not going to talk about them. No. We're talking the Rams NFC Championship game. Boto, if I love D&D as long as I get to play the cleric so I can heal people, help people, and then bash somebody to hell with my mace. Boto, big facts. Big facts. Love me some D&D. Love me some D&D. Golly, it hurts, doesn't it? Inject. Rachel to hurt Tom and Jex wants to steal my pizza pool floaty. The biggest slap in the face. Oh, man. That's great. That's great. Oh, that's great. Starter, a kid movie that Bounty Gate was the main reason. Yep. Oh, we're off the rails. It's gone. There you go, Josh. Barbarian. Just send me loose and I bonk. Am I a Bucks fan? Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Tim. Tim Greasy. Tim Greasy. Inject fire. Hey, City New Orleans did not sign off on that movie, okay? We want to burn 2 and get that championship game out your mouth.
Okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Puppies are good. Sinclair has been like attached to the hip today. She has been attached to the hip. Hold on, let's see. Let's see if we can get a puppy. Hold on. Sinclair. She's been attached to the hip since I've been home. Ready to fire. If I could go hack, I'd change Twitter to Tim Grossi Comedy right now. Come here, Sinclair. Sinclair. Puppy, come here. No. Oh, she probably sleeping on my bed. Hold on. You're on my bed, aren't you? Sinclair, downstairs, come on. Sinclair. Come on, baby. Come on, puppies. Come on, puppies. Come on. Yeah, we're on my bed, both of them. You are on the beddy. Oh, yeah, you were snoozing, huh? You were snoozing on the bed? Yeah, I know, because you were at Grandma's house. Ugh. Yeah, sleep on her couch and not... Oh, I know. I know. It's a puppy. It's a puppy. Inject fire. Hey, did you hear Fire's coming out of retirement again? Oh. Is he going to compete with Drew Brees for a starting job? Oh, what happened, baby? What happened? What happened? What happened? No sneezes. No sneezes. Hi. Oh, you want to snuggle? I love you too. Seriously, she's been all over me since I've gotten home. Like, I can't have a moment. Took her for a big walk today. She's literally all over. The puppy missed me. That's it. That's it. Right, baby? Yeah. I know. I know. Wasn't easy. Well, Tim, you do have a very nice bed. Thanks, Ray. Appreciate that. Oh, boy. Stargrazer, thank you for the 10. I appreciate that. Why are we cheering for the sneeze? Oh, God. What are you doing? You trying to get comfy? You just smacking me with your head? With your big old skull? Huh? All right, you can go back in my bed. Go ahead. Go back in my bed. Don't leak any ass juice in there. Thanks. I mean, thankfully you pooped a bunch of times on the walk, so. Ugh. We can't. We can't. We can't. Yeah, puppy. Okay, go upstairs. Go ahead. Your brother's still on the bed, huh? Dash is still on the bed? Yeah, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. That man, as soon as he came home, literally just laid right on that bed. Just laid right on that bed. He's just like, oh man, I missed this bed. Yep. Yep. Oh, Big B. Oh, gross. Will Winter, the Grouper Pooper Nation. Oh, the Grupper Pupper. Grupper Pupper. The Grouper Pooper. Hi, puppy. Do you want to come back up? It seemed like you didn't want to come back up. You're sniffing your butt. Nope, that's not a thing. Great. Great. So glad. So glad I'm going to deal with that after this stream. That's it. Totally getting ass juice in there, and Sinclair's gone. And Sinclair is gone. How many minutes have we got? I feel like we've gotten a lot of minutes. Oh, we went way over. We've gotten basically 2 hours. Okay, just want to make sure. Just want to make sure. Okay. I just want to know, how did this become roasting Tom Grossi or Tim Grossi? That's what I wanted to know. Oh, Sinclair's barking. Why? I don't know. The wind. Yeah, C. Murray, what's going on? Oh, bark. Bork, bork. Bork, bork. Yep, we're borking. Sinclair, what are you barking at? Okay. Probably sometime. Oh, no. Uh-oh, she's barking, and now Moosey's getting up. Oh, Moosey just went down the first set of stairs. Dash, come here, buddy. Let's see if I can get Moosey. Moosey, come here. He's up now. Oh, the big boy's up. He's up. Come here, Dash. He just shook. He shook. Come here, Moosey. Dash, come here. I'm getting ignored hard. He's probably staring out the window. Come here, Moose. Dash, come here. Moosey, come. Nope, I'm getting ignored hard. Inject fire. I call a truce. We need to take down the bad man that's in my division. I agree. Oh, don't I agree? Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota. Yeah, Moosey's staring out the window at Sinclair right now because Sinclair's woofing at something. Yeah, woofing at something. That's it. Bucks win. Nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. There might be a squirrel. So it's funny. I was walking Dash before too, and I'm hearing Dash go back upstairs to my bed. This man literally ignored me to go back and jump on my bed. Yep, he just jumped up. I heard it. I heard it through the floor. And I was walking, and the mailman like dropped off stuff. He's like, "Do you want me to hand it to you?" I was like, "No, just because I have Dash." He's like, "Okay." So he drives 2 houses down, and this mom just picked up her kid from the school bus, and they are walking to their house, and they start screaming bloody murder. And I mean like legit screaming, like, like screaming. They're running, and the mailman's like, "What's going on?" I don't know what it was, but the mailman literally had to get an umbrella and move whatever it was. So there was some type of animal, insect, reptilian that was making its way towards the house, and they freaked out. And I'm just getting my mail, just laughing my ass off. So, yeah, there's something. I should have gotten in the tree. Charging with a tour fair football video game. Madden 10's pretty good. Boto with a fireway. You have a dog called Moose, but your other dog isn't called Rocky. Yeah, afterwards. I mean, technically he's called Dash, but I call him Moose. Janae with a fire. Why are people arguing about what you eat? As long as you aren't forcing veganism on other people, why should anybody care? Because me eating plants and explaining why forces people to potentially analyze why they eat the things they do and then justify it, which usually turns into anger, which is dumb. That's why. What are you trying to do then? I don't know. But yeah, literally the mailman got out and like brushed away with everything. How dare Tim eat plants? Guys, the name's Tom. It's on the license. Okay, technically it's Thomas. It's Timus. It's not Thomas. It's Timus. It's Timus season. It's Timus. Have a holly jolly Timus. And Jack Fire, he silly forced us to go into veganism with these skill cookies. Bro, I want a skill cookie so bad. So bad. Yes, Holly, it is correct. Luca Dustin, Wisconsin team beating Minnesota team. Michigan team. Sweet comforts. True. Timus. Oh my God, what's that? No. What's that? What's the person's name in Narnia? What's the? Oh my God. What is their name? It's the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Hold on. What is that name? Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe characters. What? Oh my God, there's a name that's kind of like that. Tumnus! It's Tumnus! It's Tumnus! When I was going to church when I was a kid, they had a little library down in the basement, and they had like VHSs you could that you could rent. And I remember the Lion Witch in the wardrobe because Tumnus. It was Mr. Tumnus. Yes. Oh yes. It's Tumnus. It is Tumnus. Tumnus. Oh, apparently that's a guitar thing too. Lucy meets Tumnus. Tumnus. It's the goat person. It's like the half goat person. And she's like, "What's up? What's your name?" And he's like, "I'm Mr. Tumnus." Oh man, that just yeah, the BBC version. Oh man. That called back some things. That called back some things. Mr. Tumnus. Elmo Tumnus voice. Not the Tumnus. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ray Tour, Tom in Public, Tim After Dark. Tom in the streets, Tim in the sheets. What does that mean? I don't know. I roll around a lot when I sleep, maybe. So. Oh, that was great. That was great. All right. I feel like Tumnus is the way to end it. We've gone over 2 hours. We've been stretching it. But I feel like we're good. I feel like we're so good. Tomorrow, folks, I'm looking to have the Mark Murphy interview in its entirety. Bark, bark, released. Sinclair, bark at someone else. I'm looking at that to be released in its entirety, so check that out. We had some awesome conversations. I'll be releasing some clips there. Thank you, Tumnus. You're so welcome. I'm going to be releasing a lot of draft content in the next few weeks. We're going to go in hard. It's going to be all draft content all the time. Bork, bork. But folks, I appreciate you so much for watching. It's always fun on a Friday night Q&A. I know it's been a bit. But folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go pack go, says Mr. Tumnus.